techniques to either prove or disprove that.
That's
theory.
right. And wasn't that done at Duke University?
Yeah, in the study at Duke University, the question is what is the theory behind ESP that they are trying to prove or disprove? They can actually say, okay, here's telekinesis, here's ESP, here's what's working. They can observe it, they can measure it, but they've never come up with actually a theory behind what it is that's actually happening.
Well, we haven't come up with a theory behind what's happening in religion, and yet religion is believed around the world.
Well, exactly, but those same beliefs can't be in this modern scientific methodology in the very same reason that paranormal experiences can't be proven.
So I'm sorry. So let me ask you this: why should anybody take any claims of the paranormal seriously then?
Well, I would answer that question like this.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the underpinnings of the modern scientific method, which is basically independent verification and observability, those underpinnings of the entire scientific world were completely shattered by Einstein's special theory of relativity, his general theory of relativity, and quantum mechanics. Those completely blew modern science out of the water. So in answer to your question, what really needs to happen is modern science itself needs to be suspect, because the basic premise that it's built on is false.
So science is wrong. The people who see UFOs, Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, ghosts are right.
People who see those things are right. People who report seeing those things, and it's some figment of their imagination. Of course, that's a problem in the entire paranormal world.
Mm-hmm.
There's certainly the CIA founded the National Enquirer just to make, just to debunk stories or to make people look like weirdos who are reporting those things. So not every report.
So you really believe that there's a government conspiracy?
Excuse me. Absolutely. I mean, you do know that the national... prove it?
Yeah.
Well, but now we're back to the scientific aspect of this.
Well, no, I'm not asking you to scientifically prove that there's a government conspiracy, that the CIA, started up the National Enquirer to debunk the claims of the paranormal. I'm asking you to prove that there's a government conspiracy conspired and thought of by the government to basically say that anyone who sees a ghost, sees a UFO, sees an alien, sees Bigfoot, sees a Loch Ness Monster, are nuts.
Well, I don't have the documentation in front of me. I mean, I think it's a pretty easy thing to prove if anyone takes the time to research it.
Now, where on the Internet? The Internet's the biggest cesspool that man has ever created.
Sure. There's books that have been written that have been put on the Internet. So, and basically you're backing up exactly what I'm saying when you went back to the point of your question. Do people who see ghosts, Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, and UFOs, are they right and science is wrong? My answer to that was the people who see those things are right. Not all, but my point was most of the reports, probably 90% maybe, I mean, who knows, of those reports are actually not correct, that they're falsified.
So how do we know? I'm sorry. So how do we know who's telling the truth and who's a wacko?
That's a good question. I mean, this is where I fortunately had my own psychic experiences, which opened my mind to the fact that there are some of these things that are absolutely true.
Okay.
And then you have to use your own ability to discriminate. You have to. That's why I'm a healthy skeptic. I don't believe most of the things that I read. There's certainly a lot of stuff on the Internet that's falsified. But I know there is a percentage of it that's true, and I look at the evidence, I look at the witnesses, and some cases are compelling and some aren't.
Well, in your opinion, scientifically, or your scientific opinion, or your own very personal opinion, what is the greatest preponderance of evidence that you have seen that the paranormal is real, Bigfoot is real. Sasquatch is real. The UFOs are real. Aliens are visiting this planet. A UFO crashed in Roswell, New Mexico. There's undersea bases. And the list goes on and on. Yeah.
And of all those things, I mean, I haven't seen a preponderance of evidence for Bigfoot or Sasquatch.
Right.
Ghosts, there's lots of interesting anecdotal stories, and ghosts fit into my basic understanding of the metaphysical world. But obviously, the biggest preponderance of data to me is UFOs, which I'm not even sure I would, personally put those into the paranormal sort of category. I think they've sort of ended up there because of how they've been treated by the government. To me, there's nothing abnormal or paranormal at all about a UFO. But in answer to your question, Roswell is a great example of a case where there's overwhelming evidence. Witnesses.
Wait a sec. Listen, I've been doing this show for 22 years, investigating UFOs for over 22 years. And to this very day, I have never seen any physical evidence that a UFO crashed in Roswell. A lot of lip service, but no evidence.
And so where do you stand? What's your personal opinion of what happened in 1947?
I think that what happened in 1947 had nothing to do with little green men or a UFO crashing. I think that Jesse Marcel was the biggest disgrace to the armed forces ever. He shouldn't have been an intelligence officer because he certainly didn't show any intelligence when he took evidence from an alleged crash site, drove home, woke up his wife and his son to show them what Daddy does at work, instead of bringing it right back to the base and maintaining the chain of custody. In plain English, where's the beef? Where's the proof? A lot of lip service, no proof. And yet everybody hangs their hat on Roswell, New Mexico as the ultimate in UFO proof.
Well, I can't argue with the fact that there isn't any physical evidence. I certainly have never seen any. But I am overwhelmed by the amount of testimony, and I also look at the sort of anecdotal or the indirect evidence, which is the MJ-12 documentation, the fact that both the CIA and the NSA were formed just within 60 days or 70 days of the alleged event.
But here's something that's very interesting. Okay? The MJ-12 files have never been found in any official government office file. Nothing official. How come? How come WikiLeaks hasn't discovered a secret about UFO landings? There's too much information out there that doesn't substantiate any of the UFO myth. We've got to take a commercial break with the news. We'll be back on the other side. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. I'm telling you, I want to believe, but I want to see proof. We'll be back. Don't go away. Are you considering calling a psychic to read your situation? Then consider David Champion, a psychic medium for more than 20 years with thousands of readings under his belt. David Champion will make you feel comfortable. He has proven to be honest and accurate. He's a straight shooter. There's no guesswork. What he sees is what you get. While he is a medium, most of the calls focus on relationships. Not only love, but work, school, neighbors, and more. Need help with finding a job and preparing for the interview? Are you dealing with people who are obstacles in your path? For more information, go to davidchampion.com. $1.50 per minute paid by credit card with a minimum of 30 minutes. For your reading with David Champion, call 1-877-702-8598. That's 1-877-702-8598. Now you can dial in to listen to the X Zone radio show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X Zone radio show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365. Now you can dial in to listen to the X-Zone Radio Show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Welcome back, everyone. Frank Huguenard is our... How do you pronounce your family name, Frank? I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's Huguenard.
Huguenard is our guest.
I believe it's a derivation of the Huguenots.
Ah, gotcha. Huguenard is our special guest. His website is www.beyondmefilms.com. During the commercial break, you and I were discussing a number of things, and one of the most compelling things that I find to be against the UFO claims is that everyone has a cell phone these days. Every cell phone has a high definition camera or video camera in it, and yet that all-important conclusive proof has not been filmed. In fact, there are less pictures and videos coming in to different websites and reporting centers than ever before. I find this very strange.
Well, that's true. There was a nice one shot from an airplane over London last week, I think. But for the most part, you're right. And at the same time, with the digital manipulation technology being what it is right now,
sure.
If someone gave you a video of a UFO landing on the White House lawn, you would still be incredulous, as I would be too.
Sure.
But yeah, it's a great point that there were more videos, more photographs, 10, 15 years ago, and that does make a point that it seems like the whole UFO argument's sort of shot, but I'm not sure what to exactly do with that. I'm with you. I would love to get some physical evidence, some actual proof. Like you said, I want to believe. Sure. I want there to be some evidence out there that we can all hang our hat on.
I've heard from so many people. They said that if the case for different aspects of the paranormal were ever to get into a court, that by the preponderance of more than 50%, they could actually prove, and that in a court of law, that the paranormal would be proven. So what we did was we offered these various people who've been on the show over the past 22 years the opportunity to come on TV into a courtroom situation with a real judge, real prosecutor, and we would supply them with a defense, or they could actually be their own defense, or bring somebody from the different parts of the paranormal in as their experts and their attorneys to make their case. And we were going to let the public in on it, and the public, using the social media, was going to partake. And based on their presentation of their case, once and for all, we would have the case settled as so many claim that they could win in a court of law. Do you know how many people took us up on our offer?
Oh, I have no. Yeah, tell me how many.
Not one. They backed out.
Interesting.
They backed out. We have offered many people to submit themselves to lie detector tests or to psychological stress evaluation tests. They refuse. Why?